Hey, what's good everyone? It's your boy Jay Tyler coming at you with an album review. This is my very first album review, so I'm super excited to get into it. But this album review is going to be on no other than Anomaly by Lecrae. And this album came out about 8 days ago, and I've listened to the album front to back a couple times, I thought this was an awesome album, and I just want to do this album review just to go over, my thoughts, my feelings, my opinions on the album and what I thought about particular tracks. I don't want to make this a super long video, so I'm not going to go into every detail of every song, but particular songs I will go into detail about and let you guys know how I felt about it. But yeah, it opens up with this track called Outsiders, track number 1. And I felt this was a great way to open up the album. It came in with that very cinematic theater, just something big is about to go down, something impactful, something powerful, kind of what you got from Gravity when Lecrae came out with Gravity. I felt like it had that same kind of feeling coming in. Just came in with that very just classical sound. And then when the beat hits, bam, Lecrae just comes in and he just hits it, and he's just on this track. He's just really talking about, being an outsider, how he feels like he doesn't fit in, how he relates to others that just don't fit in, that are outsiders, that are misfits, that are outcasts, and I just really liked how Lecrae just opened up this album. So yeah, the second track on this album is called Welcome to America, and I really like this track. It was very deep, 3 different perspectives, and I really like how Lecrae took the approach on that, and I just thought this beat, it sounded like something that maybe Kanye West would produce, but it was hard, I loved it. I love the sample on it. I love just everything about it. It was a great song, great song. And Lecrae, he's been talking and just recent interviews and articles and stuff about maybe a music video coming out for this track. I think that would be a great music video if he was to be able to do that, put that out. So we'll have to see what's gonna happen. Track number 3, one of my favorite tracks on the album, Say I Won't, featuring Andy Mineo. I thought this was an awesome song, very dope. The beat, the lyrics, just everything about it was just super good. I like how Lecrae and Andy are just going in on it, asking people, why are you scared to be different? Why do we feel like we have to copy? Let's just be who we are. Let's just be who God has created us to be. You know what I mean? I thought that was just a super dope track. Like I said, one of my very favorite tracks on the album. When this came out, I definitely banged this track. This track is just on another level, and Lecrae and Andy were definitely a great collaboration. I was happy to see that Andy Mineo made this album. Great job, Andy and Lecrae. Fourth track on this album is a track called Nothing, and this was the very first track that came off this album, Anomaly, very first single, and I thought this is a great song for the fact that Lecrae, he was just very bold, just addressing the state of hip-hop, rappers that are just talking about nothing, just on the radio, we just hear nothingness, and rappers talking about degrading women, talking about drugs, talking about fornication, talking about all kinds of things, and Lecrae's just addressing it like, man, you guys ain't talking about nothing, and I thought this was a very bold track. Very great. I feel like this track is definitely going to impact the music industry in a big way. It was produced by Gavi. I thought this is a great beat by Gavi, and definitely something that can be played years from now and still be relevant and still has something to say. The 5th track on this album is a track called Fear, and this is definitely another one of my favorite tracks on this album. I just love how Lecrae just went in and he's talking about his own personal fears, how he feels about certain things, and I definitely think this track will help out other people. Just let them know that there's nothing wrong with admitting your fears. A person who does not admit his fears is a person who will not overcome them. So definitely I really enjoyed this track. Definitely listened to this back to back when it came out, when I first heard it, and I really like how it opened up with Psalm 23. It's a very dope track, and I really enjoyed this one. Definitely gave me inspiration and hope to just not be afraid, to just admit my fears, to just be transparent and just let people know, look, I have fears as well, I'm not perfect. Another good one. Track number 6 is the self-titled track off the album, Anomaly. It's just a very Texas kind of beat, you know, something I could definitely hear someone like Bun B from UGK, definitely hear him on this, but I thought the track was very deep. Lecrae just going in about the subject matter, the purpose of the album, which is anomaly, you know, something that's not normal, and I definitely thought Lecrae, subject matter, it was a great song. I definitely think this is something kickback, laid, that you could just chill and listen to, you know, so I definitely really enjoyed this track. Track number 7 is a track called Timepiece. You know, this beat definitely sounded like something that I could hear Drake on, definitely a Drake style beat. You know, Lecrae, he's just going in, and I don't know if he's really talking about his past himself, what he thought, or he was addressing someone that maybe is out there that thinking that, look, I got all the time in the world, I could do whatever I want, and later on I could accept God, but really, you know, in reality, that's not true. You know, we don't have all the time in the world. Yes, God is patient, and he's patient for our sake, but at the same time, you know, time is not on our side, you know, and we only have this much time. Not even that, you know, our life is but a vapor. To really live this life and really do it in a way that's pleasing to God and really live it, don't waste time, you know. And I really enjoy this track, another great one from track number 8 is definitely one of my favorite tracks off the album. This track goes so hard. Track called Dirty Water, and I really like this song because Lecrae is really going in about the water issue in Africa. He's really going in about racial tensions. He's really going in about, you know, foolishness, all this stuff. I think it's a deep track, and I've seen a lot of people on YouTube that have heard this track and commented on it, and they don't really understand the meaning. And I believe the meaning is just that, you know, Lecrae's just addressing different issues in the world, and he's really addressing it head on with boldness and just letting them know, look, this is what it is, you know. So definitely, I really like this track. Definitely a track I would recommend anybody listen to if they haven't heard of Lecrae. I think the beat went hard. I think the lyrics went hard. I think everything went hard. Lecrae really went in. So another good one from the so track number 9 is a track called Wish. What I got from it was, I think Lecrae, you know, he's just really talking about moments in his particular life and how he wished that he could go back and change things. So I definitely like this track. I think it was definitely track number 10 is a track called Runners. Lecrae is really addressing the issue of lust, and he's really going in and just letting the men know that, hey, don't get caught up in a situation you don't want to be in, because that lust will really get you, you know. And I really like it, you know, for that fact. As a young man of God who's dealing with lust myself, this track definitely spoke to me, and I love the meaning of this track. So another track number 11 is a track called All I Need Is You, and this track is a love track dedicated to his wife. And I really like this song because it really sends a message out there to the men that are married to just love your wives. You know, me wanting to be married one day and have kids and all that, you know, it really shows me, you know, Lecrae is an example in marriage, because in hip-hop, you know, the message of a lot of songs is, you know, I got all these girls, I'm married, yeah, but I'm messing with all these girls. That Lecrae's just really expressing love for his wife, and I believe that is very track number 12 is a track called Given featuring Crystal Nicole. This definitely, to me, is a very worshipful track, you know, definitely going out to God and pairing in the lyrics, as, you know, it was definitely something you could just listen to and really, you know, cry out to God on and be like, God, I give in, I surrender, you know, my life's no longer mine, it's yours, you know, have your will be done in my life. So I really like this track as well, another good one from Lecrae. 13th track on this album is called Good, Bad, and Ugly, and this track is very deep, you know. I feel like this track can really help out people that have been through the same kind of struggles Lecrae has gone through, particularly what he talks about in this. The first verse, he talked about how he aborted his child in the past, maybe with his girlfriend, or I don't know if it was his wife, you know, how they aborted their child, and he's just, you know, opening up about things that he's done that he's not particularly proud of, but at the same time, he's not, you know, hiding it anymore. He's letting it be known to, you know, the people that listen to his music. And, you know, I feel like this can be a big encouragement to people that have aborted a child, that, you know, feel like, man, you know, I made a mistake and all this, that Lecrae is saying, look, we all make mistakes. And the fact that Lecrae goes in on this track and he's saying that, you know, he's been forgiven of that, and he knows that Jesus has guided him, you know, I feel like they can be a big encouragement to people out there. As well as him talking about being molested by his babysitter in the past when he was a little kid, you know, just opening about that stuff. I feel that can help not only Christians that have gone through that, but just people in the world that have gone through that, to just encourage them that, look, yes, you've been through this, but as long as you put your faith and trust in Jesus Christ, you know what I mean, he will forgive you, you will be forgiven, and that weight that you have on you will be taken off by the grace of God. I felt like this was one of the more deeper tracks on the album, and definitely a track that I listened to a couple times and was just like, wow, this track definitely blew me away. The 14th track on this album is called Broken, featuring Carrie Job. Definitely a great track, definitely another worshipful track. Yeah, the last and final track on this album, track number 15, is called Messengers, featuring For King and Country. And I definitely enjoyed this track a lot, and definitely a very, very worshipful track. And I felt like this track was awesome. You know, I felt like, you know, Lecrae, he was just calling out all the messengers, just assuring us that, you know, we've been given the gift of life, and we need to go out and spread that to the world. You know, we need to spread this hope that we've been given in God. You know, we're not supposed to keep this message of the gospel of life that has saved us. We're not supposed to keep it to ourselves. We're supposed to let it out in hopes that it can save other people. So I really definitely enjoyed this track. I felt like it was an awesome way to end the album. I definitely felt like, you know, this track is definitely something that can just be played at concerts all over the world, and they can just find hope in it if they don't have that hope that Lecrae is talking about. So awesome track. So yeah, it's the album review, you know what I mean? Those my little thoughts, my little feelings about the album. You know, I definitely recommend that everyone go pick up this album. I thought that this was definitely an album that's gonna impact, you know, the world for Jesus. So thank you guys for taking the time to listen to this album review. If you guys have any particular albums in mind that may be coming out in the future, or maybe have come out just recently, that you would like to hear me do an album review on, you know, let me know. You know, I'll be more than happy to take any of your guys' requests, and Lord willing, I'll be able to do them. And Lord willing, I'll be able to get my little 2 cents on some more. Also, big ups to Lecrae for making that #1 spot on the Billboard 200. You know, it really just shows God is doing some amazing things with Lecrae. He's really, you know, having his will in the music industry and using Lecrae to open up many doors for such artists as myself. So, you know, big ups to Lecrae. You know, keep on going, bro. I ride with you. Reach Records, 116 Click. Salute.
Hold up, hold up, hold up. Y'all gon' get me bowed up when that beat hit. It's like 3 kicks and your knees up to your nose, huh? You knows us.